Today, we are taking a pretty deep plunge into the sources detailing this intense family conflict between the Karahans and the Yıldırıms.
And it is intense. We're talking about a conflict so fierce, their marriage literally became a calculated weapon.
That's right. We're analyzing source material that really focuses on a high-stakes, deeply personal war. It's waged by Ateş Karahan, the husband, the antagonist, against Yıldırım, who is the wife and an architect. So we begin with Mercan, the Lars Hospital project. I mean, this was a massive joint venture between the Yıldırım conglomerate and her business partner, Nezir Keseroğlu.
A huge deal.
But it wasn't just professional for her, was it? The sources show it was her life's purpose.
Oh, absolutely. It was her biggest dream. It's the precise reason she went into architecture, which is, an incredibly demanding field. It was foundational to her whole identity.
It represents hope, a future. And this is why the incident at the launch party is just so devastating.
So devastating.
Mercan is there, she's ready to celebrate her life's work, and then her own husband, Ateş, the man she's legally bound to, he steps up.
In front of everyone, all the investors, the media.
And he just casually announces the construction permit has been canceled.
Just like that. Poof. The entire project, Mercan's whole professional life, it just vanishes.
The public humiliation is complete. I mean, the sources capture her devastation perfectly. She confronts him with that raw, painful line that really sticks with you.
You destroyed all my dreams. Are you happy?
Yeah. She's not just asking a question there, it's just pure emotional collapse.
And that devastation is exactly what Ateş wanted. But his own reaction, it reveals that this is not some clean surgical business move. This is deeply, deeply personal for him, too.
For Ateş, the very name Aylul is. It's like an unhealed wound.
It's a raw trigger.
Tell us about that specific detail in the source material, the one with the glass. It really illustrates his lack of control, despite this powerful persona he projects.
It's a moment of, I think, profound psychological insight. The sources describe this scene at the breakfast table. The name Aylu comes up, probably about the project.
Innocently.
Right, completely innocently. Ateş, he says nothing. He keeps up that cold exterior. But he's holding a drinking glass.
And he just squeezes it.
He squeezes it, and the tension just builds inside him until the glass shatters, violently. In his own hand, he's left injured and bleeding.
A self-inflicted injury just from hearing a single name. That speaks volumes about the trauma he's suppressing.
Exactly. For a character who is all about ruthless control and calculated moves, the shattering glass is this potent symbol of his inner breakdown.
So he's trying to crush her dream.
But the process forces him to confront this painful past he himself can't control. The physical pain is almost a substitute for the psychological pain he carries.
And what makes it all the more tragic is Mercan's connection to that name, Aylu. It's entirely pure. It's innocent.
She has no idea. She's completely unaware of the poison that name represents to Ateş.
She reveals that Aylu was her best friend from childhood, right?
Her best friend. She chose the name for the hospital to honor a promise they made as kids, a vow to never forget each other.
So for Mercan, the hospital is tied to her fate, her purpose.
And those innocent childhood memories. So when Ateş destroys the hospital, he isn't just destroying a business, he's tearing apart her most sacred childhood connection, the emotional core of this whole conflict.
Yes. The sources make it clear. Ateş and Mercan, they share this formative past that Mercan has either forgotten or is completely oblivious to.
And that shared trauma is the engine of the entire plot. This reveal, it just immediately elevates the stakes. It goes from personal betrayal to systemic, unaddressed trauma.
So what is the devastating truth that Mercan doesn't know?
The truth is that Aylu was Ateş Karahan's younger sister.
Wow.
And Ateş, who Mercan only knows as this cold, controlling tyrant she married, is actually Tahir, the boy she partially remembers from her childhood.
So wait, he is Tahir.
He is, and the sources are explicit. Ateş holds Mercan's father, Haydar Yıldırım, directly and entirely responsible for Aylu's death back in 2005.
So he changed his identity, infiltrated the family, and married the daughter of his enemy. That is the definition of a long-con revenge plot.
It's terrifyingly brilliant. Ateş, or Tahir, has spent years meticulously building this Karahan persona. All ruthless efficiency, public dominance. He's completely buried the vulnerable, traumatized boy.
And the marriage to Mercan is
just a calculated move, a way to get his revenge on Haydar. The revenge isn't just financial, it's deeply personal.
Of course.
The sources, they track him at Aylu's grave. He makes this chilling vow, promising to make Haydar suffer 1,000 times, and crucially, to take away their loved ones.
So Mercan is a pawn.
She's a pawn in his revenge game. She's the leverage, the asset he controls to cause maximum pain to her father.
This is where the narrative tension just hits its peak. And the sources actually have a term for this, don't they? This disconnect between what the audience knows and what the characters are going through.
They do. In English, we just call it dramatic irony, but the source analysis uses this term, dramaisitam zarifi. It's this specific kind of profound narrative pain.
And what does it mean in this context?
It means you, the listener, are acutely aware that Ateş is Tahir, the childhood protector Mercan is actively trying to find. But she hates the man she's married to, who is the very same boy who used to protect her.
So every single interaction is filtered through this massive misunderstanding.
Every single one. When Ateş is cruel, he thinks he's executing justice. When Mercan fights back, she's fighting the one person who should, based on their shared history, be her greatest ally.
That misunderstanding gives every word, every act of betrayal, what the sources call a deep and painful meaning.
Precisely. You're watching Mercan struggle against the memory of the very boy she holds sacred. It's agonizing to watch.
Which brings us to the dynamics with other people, especially her business partner, Nezir Keseroğlu. This psychological warfare, it doesn't just stay in the marriage.
No, it spills over immediately. After canceling the hospital, Ateş doesn't just walk away. He exerts this extreme, isolating control over her. He cancels her partnership with Nezir, basically saying she doesn't need to work anymore since the project is dead. And we see these moments of physical intervention, like when he violently snatches her phone right out of her hand while she's talking to Nezir.
Snatching the phone, that's not a corporate rival move, that's something else entirely.
It's deeply personal. Ateş claims Mercan is his property, just part of his game, and he's just stopping an alliance against him. But if you look at his rage, his possessiveness towards Nezir, well, the narrative suggests it's something far messier than strategy.
Are you saying the cold, calculated machine of Ateş Karahan might actually be driven by a raw human emotion like jealousy?
That's the fascinating question the sources raise. His own brother, Samal, even confronts him on it. He says, "You're obviously jealous of Nezir."
And what does Ateş say?
He denies it, of course.
Yeah.
He clings to the story that Mercan is just the daughter of his enemy. But his actions, they speak so much louder than his carefully constructed narrative. He is threatened by Nezir's emotional bond with Mercan.
A bond he can't replicate.
Exactly, because his whole relationship is based on lies and malice. The motivations of these two men are just polar opposites.
Nezir is driven by emotion.
By emotions and the protection of Mercan. He's always trying to save her. Ateş, on the other hand, operates on this need for psychological superiority. He doesn't just want to win, he wants to crush his opponent's ability to even hope.
The goal isn't profit, it's despair. And as all this is unfolding, the family environment around them just reinforces this whole controlling atmosphere.
Oh yes. You have Müzeyyen, the matriarch, with her strict traditionalism. She insists that married women shouldn't have strange men at her door. It reinforces this idea that Mercan must be confined.
And then there's Aslan.
Aslan brings the active internal hostility. She sees Mercan as a rival for Ateş's attention and is constantly trying to humiliate her. It just creates this toxic, isolating web all around Mercan.
But then we get to the next phase, and we see Mercan's incredible resilience. After being blocked at every turn, investors are terrified of the Karahan family. She decides she has to rebuild her dream.
No matter the cost. And that cost is devastatingly high.
She accepts the cruelest possible terms Ateş could invent.
He agrees to help build a hospital, but only if Mercan gives up all financial and legal rights to the project.
So it's her dream, but it's his ownership. What does that tell us about her character? Is this resilience or a kind of martyrdom?
It's both, which is why it's so powerful. For Ateş, it's proof of her defeat. He gets the power and the profits. But for Mercan, the hospital isn't a business. It's a sacred promise to her friend İlsu.
The money doesn't matter to her.
Not at all. Fulfilling that promise overmodes everything. It's her ultimate act of defiance. She reclaims the emotional purpose even as she surrenders the practical control.
And right after she accepts, we see Ateş's strategic mind go up against Nezir's emotional countermove.
It's a great sequence. Nezir, acting out of loyalty, secretly buys the original hospital plot. He thinks he's outsmarting Ateş, forcing his hand.
A logical move if Ateş was just a normal businessman?
But Ateş is always 3 steps ahead of anyone acting on emotion. He just calmly reveals that the original plot doesn't matter because he and Mercan have already chosen a new, better location.
He makes Nezir's move completely meaningless.
Totally meaningless. It's not about the property. It's about proving his absolute superiority in the game of strength and crushing the hopes of anyone who tries to help Mercan.
Before we close, we should touch on the subplot that gives this world so much texture, the peril faced by the people caught in the Karahan orbit.
Yes, the household staff. Chisek, Barat,
Yeah.
and Malik. It's crucial because it shows the real-world consequences of the elite's careless power.
Barat makes a huge mistake.
A disastrous one. He's trying to earn extra money to pay off a loan, so he uses the mansion's expensive car as an illegal taxi and crashes it.
Which for them is a catastrophe.
Complete catastrophe. They're desperate, trying to fix the damage and pay the debt before Ateş or Muzien finds out. The consequences for them aren't canceled contracts, it's instant ruin.
We even see the mother forced to sell her bracelets.
Her last valuable possessions, just to raise the money. It's a powerful reminder that while the main characters are fighting over identity and billions, their power games have devastating consequences for those just trying to survive in the background.
Okay, let's bring this deep dive to a close. We've seen how revenge and grief, rooted in the tragic loss of İlsu, have completely intertwined the lives of Ateş and Mercan.
And their relationship is just this volatile struggle for control built entirely on life. The ultimate contradiction is unavoidable. Both of them are fighting over and mourning the same person,
The
İlsu.
sister, the friend.
Yet they see each other as their ultimate enemy. They share the trauma, but they're on completely opposite sides of it.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We want to leave you with this final, provocative thought drawn directly from the source analysis.
What happens when Mercan finally discovers the truth?
That Ateş, the man who stole her dreams and destroyed her life, is actually Tahir, the boy who used to protect her. What will she do?
Will she see him purely as the villain who executed this calculated years-long revenge plot? Or will that connection to her past allow her to see the broken boy who never recovered from losing his sister?